Okay, so as you can see from my screen here, okay, this is actually lesson number 2, because last week we actually did the research methodology. Okay, so just to do a quick recap what we did last week. Last week actually I told you, okay, or I teach you how to do the Google form. Okay, and I also teach you about research methodology. Okay, for today's lesson, we're going to do aim and objective of business research. Okay, so I think this one is something I already explained last week, where I told you about where the research starts, okay, until the end. Okay, so if you look at this diagram, okay, today we're going to focus on research objective. Okay, research objective is nothing but to tell you why you are doing the research. I repeat, research objective means to tell that why you are doing the research. Okay, so now let's look at the example. Okay, when you look at research objective, it is a clear and concise statement of the purpose and aim of the study. I repeat, research objective means it is the clear statement of why you are doing that study. Okay, it actually provides an overview of the big picture. Okay, I repeat, it provides an overview of the big picture. Okay, and it describes the objective of the targets and also what are the desired outcome of the work done by you. Okay, so in a nutshell, if you want to explain what is the research objective, it means you are telling people why you are doing the research. I repeat, you are telling people why you are doing the research, for what you are doing the research. Okay, so now let's look at another slide. Okay, so if you look here, the research objective, they always focus on to measure the variables. I repeat, it focuses to measure the variables. Okay, so maybe I go back to the whiteboard. Okay, I want to show you the framework that we done on the last week class. Okay, this is actually the framework. Okay, remember just now one of the students also asked me, okay, how to do the questions. Okay, so listen carefully for those who did not hear properly last week. Okay, so you have IV and you have DV. This is the thing that you need to draw and put in your assignment. I repeat, this is the thing that you need to draw and you put in your assignment. Okay, so on your left hand side you have IB which stands for service quality elements. At your right hand side, you have business performance, which is your DV. Okay, DV stands for dependent variable. IV stands for independent variable. And inside this box, okay, you need to draw below this, which is number 1, reliability, number 2, tangible, number 3, responsiveness, number 4, assurance, number 5, empathy. Okay, I repeat, you have in this box service quality elements, okay, followed by these 5 things. So it means you are doing questionnaire on reliability, tangible, responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and business performance. And last week also I mentioned to you, each question you need to have minimum 4 or 5. So if you're doing 4, you need to do 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and this one 4. So total you will have 24. In case if you're doing 5, this is 5 and this one is 5. So you total you will have 30 questions. Okay. So remember this one last week I already explained to you. For those who did not hear, okay, or miss, please take a picture or please jot down. This is what you're supposed to do. Okay. So now since I'm teaching you research objective, okay, so let me highlight to you how you can write. And now we are doing research objective. Okay, so if we look here, what actually we are studying, okay? If you look from this graph, you automatically know what we are studying. We are studying the impact of service quality elements on the business performance. I repeat, we are studying the impact of service quality elements on business performance. For instance, if let's say that day you choose McDonald's, what you're studying is the impact of service quality elements on McDonald's business performance. Okay, what are the service quality elements? Obviously, these 5 things, which is reliability, tangible, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy. Okay, so these are the 5 things for your service quality elements. Okay, so do you guys understand what you're supposed to do for this assignment in terms of question? Is it clear? Is it clear, class, what you're supposed to do?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so now we look at your research objective. So your research objective, basically you want to study the impact of service quality element on business performance. I repeat, your research objective is to study impact of service quality elements on business performance. Okay, that is just the first research objective. You also have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 5. Okay, the second one is you want to study the relationship between reliability and business performance. The third one is to study relationship between tangible and business performance. The fourth one is to study relationship between responsiveness and business performance. Okay, the next one is to study relationship between assurance and business performance. The next one is to study the relation between empathy and business performance. So basically what you're doing is you're studying relationship between, okay, I give you one example. Okay, this is just one of the research objective, but of course you need to do one for reliability, one for tangible, one for responsiveness, one for assurance, one for empathy. Okay, so you need to cover all of this thing. This is your research objective. Okay, so is it clear, guys? Do you know how to do research objective? Research objective is between the relationship between this one, okay, or all of it, and also this one. Okay, so next you need to continue to study relationship or impact of reliability on business performance and so forth. Okay, is that clear? Do you understand what is supposed to write for your research objective? Are you guys clear? So you have any question? Guys, are you clear on this one? It seems you quiet. I assume you don't have any question. Okay, so
you can move on.
So now let's look at research objective. As I mentioned, research objective is actually measure what are the relationship between the variables. Okay, so research objective is very important because we want to know why you are doing the project. For instance, if I read your research objective, I will know why you are doing that project. Okay, so it is actually, people read that, then people can understand more about the project. Okay, so when you want to write research objective, you need to follow the SMART way, which is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. Okay, the objective need to be very specific. Okay, you just need to say that you want to study this and this. You cannot write like a storybook. Okay, this is not a storybook or novel where you can write, like anything, or you can keep on writing, limitless. These need to be very short, precise. Okay, the next one is of course measurable. For instance, in our study, we are measuring the relationship between what is that? Remember this one? Our IB and our DV, business performance, and also the reliability, assurance, and everything. So it is actually measurable. The service quality and business performance, they are measurable. Attainable means you can achieve. For example, how we can achieve our project? You do the questionnaire, you give to people, and people fill up. Then I will teach you how to do the graph, and then you can achieve that. Relevant and time bound. Time bound means everyone, we have a restricted time. Okay, so you need to finish in that time. Okay, you cannot do research forever. Relevant means when people read your assignment, people will know that, oh, at least the result I can use for something. Okay, your result is useful for other purposes or maybe for other researchers. Okay, so when you do research objective, you need to always take into consideration, okay, why you are doing the research. Okay, who are the people involved? Okay, what are the variables involved? Okay, where your research going to be located? Okay, when you're going to do research, or when is the time frame for your research? How you're going to do research? Okay, so when you do the research objective, you need to take into consideration this everything. Okay, the next one is need of research objective. Okay, as I already mentioned, we do research objective because people want to know clearly what you are doing. I repeat, people want to know clearly why you are doing the research. Okay, everyone doing research for the purpose, right? Okay, so we want to know what is your purpose of doing that research. Okay, so the next one is that when you're doing the research, you need to be organized. Okay, when I say organized means you need to do a proper step by step. You need to follow the process. Okay, so if you do this, then your research will be more organized. So you know that what are the things you are doing, this is my questionnaire, this is how I collect my data, this is how I analyze my data, so it will be very precise. Okay, so now we go to types of research objective. Okay, so the first one we have general objective. A general objective means what are the big broad goals that you want to achieve. Okay, so this one is actually used by in the in the companies. Okay, when they're doing the research, they will have a general objective. The next one is we will have specific objective. So you guys need to go for specific objective because you guys are narrowed down. Okay, so you, for example, in our case, we are studying the relationship between the service quality, including its elements, towards the business performance. So you need to know what you're doing and need to be very specific. Okay, you cannot do like very general, or you cannot do like very vague. Vague means you are doing in a very broad manner. Okay, so now let's look at some of the examples. Okay, so your research objective can be as a question, can be a positive sentence, can be a hypothesis. Okay, so I want you to do number 2. Okay, I want you to follow style number 2. Okay, students, please listen carefully. For your research objective, I want you to follow style number 2, which is positive sentence. It means in one paragraph you write the objective of the study is to find out the relationship between blah blah blah. Okay, so you follow the second style. You don't do the question, you don't do the this one. Okay, you do the positive sentence. Okay, hypothesis I will tell you in a short while. Okay, now we go to this one, formulation of research objective. Okay, formulation of research objective is very, very important. Okay, because you actually need to know that the purpose of why you are doing the research. Okay, and you need to use very specific word, for example, to describe, to study, to compare. Okay, you cannot use sentences as appreciate, understand. Okay, try to be like very precise. Okay, then the final one is regarding hypothesis. Okay, so you need to write research objective. Okay, and you also need to write hypothesis. Okay, so now I will teach you how you can write hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis, what you do is you write after the this one you write after literature review. Okay, literature review is I'm going to teach you next week's class. Okay, so you write after the literature review. Okay, please take note. You actually write after the literature review. So maybe I highlight. Okay, so don't forget about that. Okay, so the first one is we write H1. Okay, this is the first hypothesis. the reliability, I highlight for you, the reliability has a significant impact on business performance. Okay, can anyone tell me what can be the second one? What should be the second one? Okay, second one, very simple. You just look at this one, your framework. What is your second one? Second one is tangible. Okay, so you just write the same thing. Okay, do you guys understand? Yes or no? Do you guys understand how to write hypothesis?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so you just continue. The next one is H3. Okay, so you just continue. Next we have H4. Next we got H5. Okay, so we also have, okay, this one please listen carefully. We also have H0. Okay, you no need to write H0. I repeat, you no need to write H0. But what is the meaning of H0? H0 means null hypothesis. Okay, null hypothesis means this one and this one don't have relationship. I repeat, this one and this one don't have relationship. Okay, that is the meaning of H0 or null hypothesis. Okay, so we already done with hypothesis. Okay, you guys can start doing hypothesis. Okay, you guys can do the methodology which I already teach you. Okay, you guys also can do research objective. Okay, so maybe I go back to our assignment paper. Okay, so this task number 1. Okay, before I go to task number 1, let me just quickly talk regarding this one. Okay, for task number 3, okay, listen carefully. Task number 3, describe in detail the research methodology that you will use for the current study. Okay, this one we already studied last week. So what you can write for research methodology is, let me write for you. Okay, I'm referring to task number 3, yeah? So please listen carefully. Okay, for task number 3, how you can write is, first thing, you can write regarding quantitative method. You guys still remember what is the quantitative method? Quantitative methods means you use numbers, okay? Because you're doing questionnaire. So first you can talk about quantitative methods. Second, you can talk about primary method. Okay, what is the meaning of primary method? Primary method means all of you are collecting the data by yourself. It means you do not take the data from a published book or a published paper. Okay, so that is primary method. Okay, number 3, you need to talk about questionnaire. Okay, number 3, you talk about questionnaire. Okay, number 4, you talk about data analysis. Okay, data analysis we have 2. Okay, first one is correlation. Second one is regression. Okay, and the last one you talk about data and sampling. Okay, the data analysis I will teach you next week, okay, because now most of you don't have the response from your respondents, right? So you don't have the data yet, so we wait until next week, then I will teach you this part. But now you can write on this, you can write on this, you can write on questionnaire, you can write on data and sampling. Data and samplings means you tell me how many data you collect. Okay, data means how many questionnaires that you manage to collect. Okay, how you do the questionnaire. You can say that the questionnaire is sent by WhatsApp or through email to respondents. Okay, then respondents answer that. You also can talk in terms of the how you do your sampling. For example, you do sampling means random. Okay, actually you are not doing random, you are doing convenient sampling. Okay, you guys still remember what's the meaning of convenient sampling? Convenient sampling means I give to the people who I know. Okay, because nowadays you guys are giving to people that you know, right? Okay, so that is a convenient sampling. Okay, you also doing a random sampling because you just giving randomly to people. Okay, so you are doing random sampling and you are doing convenient sampling. Okay, so this one you need to do for task number 3. I repeat, quantitative methods, primary method, questionnaire. This one don't write first, later we'll explain next week. And you need to write about data and sampling. Where you get your data, how many data, which sampling you are using. Okay, so this is for task number 3. Okay, you need to write that. Okay, for task number 2, okay, now I go to task number 2. Okay, literature I will teach you next week, so this one no need to write now, but you need to write now conceptual framework, concept and variable. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to write this. Okay, so the first one, your framework. Framework we already done. Okay, so this is actually your framework. So you draw like this. I repeat, this is your framework. You draw like this. Okay, so next thing is you need to explain one by one. Okay, what I mean by explain one by one, you need to explain what is the meaning of reliability, what is the meaning of tangibility, what is the meaning of responsiveness, what is the meaning of assurance, what is the meaning of empathy. Okay, I think some people already done this last week because you guys show me. So what I want you is to cut the answer, you put your answer in task number 2. I repeat, this whole definition you cut and you put under task number 2. Okay, and after you write all this definition, and you need to write your hypothesis. Okay, this is hypothesis. Okay, so maybe I write for you guys. Okay, for task number 2, first thing you need to do literature review, which, okay, I will teach you next week. Then you can do conceptual framework. So draw the box. Okay, so number 3, you need to write about concept. Number 4, you need to write about variables. Did I miss anything? Okay, so conceptual framework, draw the box. Variables means you explain the 5 things, okay, and business performance. Okay, concept, you just explain about service quality. Okay, guys, concept, you mention about service quality. Okay, what is the meaning? Variables, you explain the 5 things, okay, and you explain the business performance. Conceptual framework, you draw the box as per the update. Okay, so this one is for task number 2. Okay, you can take picture if you want, in case you have forgotten. Okay, so now I will teach you how to do task number 1. In task number 1, first you need to write background, which I think you guys already done. The next one is problem statement. The third one is your objective. Okay, so objective of study I already teach you today. Okay, so I think you can write this. Background, this one background of the company, I think most of you already done that. Okay, some of you ask me question how to write problem statement. Okay, so problem statement you can write in terms of service quality. Okay, so you need to write problem statement regarding why service quality is important. Okay, the next one is you need to write which okay, the next problem statement is which service quality is important, because service quality we got 5 things, right? So among the 5, which one is important? The first one is of course why service quality is important. Okay, so just to do a quick recap, okay, your assignment is about you are actually a business consultant. Your customer, they want to open a new branch. Okay, I repeat one more time, your customer want to open a new branch. So you as a business consultant, you're going to do advice, okay, which one they need to focus so that they can do the business plan. Okay, so you as a business consultant, you know that there are 5 types of service quality and you're going to study which one is important, okay, so that you can advise your customer later, or that you need to focus more on maybe responsiveness or something like that. Okay, So this is actually the how you need to do task number 1. Is it clear? This is task number 1. Okay. Okay, so you can start doing task number 1. Okay, after you're done, you can do task 2, but literature review later I will teach you, but you can do this thing. Okay, and also you can do task number 3 except the green one. Okay, so the others you can do. Okay guys, you can start doing questionnaire and also can start writing. If you have any problem, you can message me. Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay.